Now let me get back to the ceasefire and I'll conclude. Kindly remember, President Donald Trump will not vanish until January 2029. That's our misfortune or fortune. Until January 2029, President Trump will be there. And he has only said it 29th time. And as the LOP said, before he finishes, when we read our newspapers tomorrow, he may have said it the 30th time. 1 minute. And he will say it several times. We are bristling now. But what did the Prime Minister say 5 years ago? Ab ki baar Trump sarkar. I'm sure the Prime Minister deeply regrets he ever said ab ki baar Trump sarkar. At 5:25 p.m., and I've asked this question several times, 3:35 the DGMO spoke. 5:25, before any Indian minister, before any Indian official announced the ceasefire, President Trump said, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a ceasefire. A few minutes later, Secretary Marco Rubio said, India and Pakistan have agreed to a ceasefire and will meet at a neutral site. At 6:05 p.m., Foreign Secretary announced the ceasefire and he was trolled for that. Why has the Prime Minister rebutted Mr. Trump? That's the question. He should have publicly rebutted Mr. Trump. There was not even a note of protest, a written note of protest. And this is part of the government's character in dealing with America. Illegal migrant Indians were deported in handcuffs and leg chains. Not a word of protest. Steep tariffs were imposed on Indian exports and deadlines have been set. Not a word of protest. US voted in favor of the IMF loan to Pakistan. Not a word of protest. Yes. Foreign students, including Indian students, barred from enrolling in Harvard. Not a word of protest. Student visa interviews were suspended. Not a word of protest. President Trump invites General Asim Munir to dinner and called him a phenomenal partner. Not a word of protest. That is how President Trump cannot be rebutted by this government. Because they don't protest against Mr. Trump. Maybe they hope there will be an ab ki baar, another Trump sarkar. Fortunately, the Constitution of the United States doesn't permit another Trump sarkar. So I finally appeal to the government, like the military leadership showed exemplary leadership and was candid and forthright. Please, from today onwards, show exemplary leadership, be candid and forthright, and take the country into the future.